हरायो कहाँ सुरु भन्नुभएको
होइन होइन यही कलको
Hello everyone, it is late tonight. Welcome back to Prime Championship India. This is your caster Geek Hazard, and with me, my co-caster Z is present for you tonight in this quarterfinals, day 2. How are you feeling about tonight, Z?
I'm feeling very good. Thank you, Gig. And I'm feeling very excited to watch these teams go all out in this quarterfinals match.
Yeah, with that, I think so. The drafts are already starting. Yeah, guys, and if you are new to the channel, please do like and subscribe to our channel. And yeah, you can find us on the other platforms as well: Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and of course a Discord server as well for all you guys to join us. With that, let's get back into the draft. Why don't we, Z?
Yep. Interesting bands coming out from both the teams here. We have the Suyu band. So these are both jungle bands, I would assume, from both the teams.
Yeah, I think so too. With that, I think so. This has been standard bands, especially the new Hue. Suyu, of course, the Ling also does get banned out a lot. Do you think Suyu is better than the Ling currently?
I personally don't think so, but I do think that he provides that flexibility. You can go to the EXP and he can go to the jungle as well, and he's very strong on both lanes.
Yeah, I think so. That is one factor that makes this a bit different and unique in its own aspect when it comes to jungling. We have seen a lot of fighter assassins as well throughout the new updates and new hero patches, like the Yin. But I think so. This one especially is more slippery than most sides feel. With that, the Aurora is banned out, which has been one of the more favorite picks for the players in this tournament, and I think so rightfully. Do you think there is any other mage that is better than the Aurora currently?
Well, in a 5v5, don't think so. So Vixana, I think, is very strong as well, but it's interesting. These two mages, I think, are interchangeable in the team comp. Aurora gives a lot more in a 5v5 kind of setup. So I can understand the Aurora ban, especially because of how good it has seemed in this tournament.
Yeah, and it is Neon Genesis' first pick as they ban out the Ruby as well. I don't think so we need to reiterate on how versatile the Ruby is. And yeah, we are still waiting for Celebi to make the last ban. What do you think will the first pick be? Let's have some predictions.
The jungle, probably. So something like the Julian or the Vixana. The Vixana makes sense. As I said, Aurora is banned, then Vixana is probably the next best control mage. That's not to say that there aren't heroes that can be good at countering the Vixana. For instance, Valentina, I think, is a very good pick against the Vixana, but the Vixana just provides so much more.
Yeah, I think so. And with that, the casters, of course, it seems like they might switch to the Nana instead. That is one beautiful skin.
Personally, they're kind of just showing off their skins, I guess, which is funny in a tournament setting.
Yeah, true. Could be. But let's see what if actually go for it.
That's an interesting pick. I mean, I would not have expected a Sicilian to be picked. He's a very high reward hero, but he's also very high risk because if you can't hold on until the late game, it's very risky picking a Sicilian, especially picking at first phase, first pick.
Yeah, I think so. It did catch me off guard as well. I haven't seen that coming in any of the
this actually opens up so many picks. So the Grok has been picked, but the Phovius is open. The Edith is open. The Arlot is open. Would be interesting to see if any of those are picked by either of these teams.
Yeah, and we see Louis, another mage that we haven't seen a lot. I think so. Both of the teams are coming in with some pretty unique compositions, especially throughout this tournament. I have not seen the Louis and the Grok. At least in the matches that I have casted, I have not seen that combination come in.
Yeah, I think we saw Louis from Evil Esports when they picked it with the chip, when they comboed it with the chip. But normally Louis is comboed with something like that. But then, yeah, we're going to see a Hylos, who is a very strong meta pick right now. And so this game is...
Yeah, it's pretty...
Okay, so the Hylos and the Angela for Neon Genesis. Let's see what TAINGO SINJMEI JIO picks in response to that.
Yeah, that is very difficult to pronounce. I think I'm gonna call them TSJ. I don't know if that will roll off our tongues, but yeah, that is what I'm gonna call them.
Tiango, right? It's Tiango, something like that. But I think they finish off the last phase of the last pick of the first phase with the Xbox, who is a very good pick against that tankiness that the Hylos brings.
Yeah, also it does have that ice queen wand, which does help stop the mobility coming from the Hylos in the team fight as well, doing him a lot of damage in the process. So that is, I think, so a good counter pick for the Hylos, especially.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. And looks like Tianzhou is gonna go forward with just banning out these junglers, since the jungle has not yet been picked by Neon Genesis yet.
Yeah, Breeze thinking about the ban. I mean, both teams are taking their sweet time to ban out those heroes. I think so. There's a lot of mental game going on currently, and I think so. That is what is expected of teams that make it to the quarterfinals. But the Fanny ban is pretty strange, I'd say. They do have the export going in the jungle, so I think so. That is why they just want to play it safe.
Yep. And the Lunox ban, that's interesting because, I mean, Lunox is normally banned because you want to pick a Harith, because Lunox actually matches up very well against the Harith in the gold lane. But I don't think Neon Genesis want to go Harith because they have a lot of magic damage right now.
Yeah, I think so. They do want to just ban out the gold laners, which are possible. Some high output gold laners. So yeah, I think so. We could see a Harith ban as well coming in if they are actually trying to play it safe.
Yeah. Or maybe a carry ban makes sense. Just keep your tanky frontliners safe, you know?
Yeah, it could be that as well. But we see a Morsel ban coming in actually.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense as well. So, okay, yep. Tiangzhou does go for the Harith.
Yeah, they did
Just
set it up right.
responded by
Yeah.
Claude. I don't personally like this Claude against the Harith, but let's see how Vecna actually plays this Claude for Neon Genesis.
Breeze still left to make his pick. Fighter pick, I suppose. Which one do you think does make sense in this composition?
It has to be a jungle, no? The jungler is not picked yet.
Yeah. Jungler. My
The
bad.
Hylo seems to be going in. It has to be a physical jungler, so it can't be a Julian, for instance, because they don't have enough physical damage. So, yep, Hayabusa, that makes sense. Nolan, Hayabusa, something like that would have made sense. And Tiango seems to be going for the Mathilda in the roam position. So that would mean that the Grok is actually in the EXP.
Yeah, the Grok does have the output necessary, I'd say, to go to the EXP lane. I think will do pretty well, but I'm not sure how good the EXP lane Groks usually pan out to be throughout the match. What do you think about that? Do you think Grok is a good EXP laner?
I do think so, especially as a tank build, or it can even go a damage build and just get rid of the enemy. But I find it very interesting because I think back like in season 5, season 6, when Grok was really strong, Hylos actually came to the meta as a counter to the Grok, because the Grok has that CC immune, but he can't actually handle that continuous damage that comes out of the Hylos. But right now, we're seeing a meta where the Grok is picked as a response to a possible Hylos EXP pick, which is, I think, very interesting. And it's very interesting to see how this game has developed and how the meta has developed.
Wow, that's a very deep lore. Back to the history books of Mobile Legends, and I don't think so. I don't think so. Any of the viewers knew. I especially didn't. So that is one insight from Z that I guess you guys would not have found anywhere else, just in this Fusion Prime stream. So that if you are new to the channel, please do like and subscribe, and you can find us on the other platforms as well, such as Facebook Instagram and WhatsApp. We do have a Discord channel as well, so you can join us there as well. With that, let's get back into the match as both the teams now move into their respective lanes and jungles. Which team do you think has a better comp now, Z?
I really like what Neon Genesis is trying out with their comp, but I would have to say that the strength is with Tiango, as a team, because they just have a very solid, very meta pick, right? The Mathilda can actually help them escape the all-in engages from the Hylos, and it also has the shield and the healing that can help you survive the Hayabusa damage and the Claude damage, right? So,
Yeah.
yep, and we're seeing that action already down in bottom lane where Celebi actually just poked down Vecna on the Claude.
Yeah, does seem to be a bit of an issue in the bottom lane currently. Vecna having a difficult time. His team now they are present a bit late, I'd say, but it could be a kill. It
but
could be
they're
first
going all
blood.
in. And
Yep.
Beast is in trouble, and Beast does get slain. And the kill goes to the Claude. It goes to Vecna. So this might end up just turning the tides around.
Yeah, both teams playing it very aggressive, both invading the other lanes into their jungles also, it seems like. And yeah, the Xborg is starting to get a lot of gold and EXP. And Hayabusa goes in. That could be a kill, the ultimate use, but yep, enough damage on Breeze to bring down Prime. That is the second kill on the matchup in this round of 1.
So Neon Genesis do have that kill lead, but looks like Tiango actually have that advantage in the turtle, simply because they have a much more frontline-y kind of EXP and the jungle, and yep, they managed to just secure that turtle without any contest.
And it could be another kill, but it seems like Gentleman does see that Kenny going in this time. Very deep. It may be a kill, but a flicker used
but the
right
Mathilda
in
actually saves Celebi. Celebi was in a very, very, very difficult situation there, but the dash coming in from the
that's pretty close, and that's a very good aspect. The Mathilda has helped in engagement and as well as engagement, especially with the field that she gives, does help the team as well. And the ultimate use, but I think so, miss ultimate, not, I think, yeah, doesn't secure the kill because of creeps present during the ultimate used by the Hayabusa.
Oh, and there's a fight going on in the XP lane. KZ blank holding on. The Angela ult actually managing that 2v2 situation very well. I think they won that and forced Joy QT this Grok to actually recall.
Both teams now playing it in a very disciplined fashion, not getting caught out. Look at that, Vecna, with a very risky play, but does pay off. And it seems like he is going to recall back. Oh my god, that was pretty close. Celebi going in, almost catching Vecna. That could have been another kill. And the opener, I'd say, for the side of Team Tiango.
Yep, and I think this first 4 or 5 minutes of this game has definitely showed how this game is going to turn out, in a way, simply because, okay, there's a fight going on, and KNTZ drops the Glorious Pathway, and he's gonna be safe with Big Black Crank's ult on him, and I think but oh no, the Grok actually engages on, oh, and the Gentleman actually falls. Breeze can't get anything back in return, and I think that both the teams should be disengaging at this point. However, Vecna goes in on Beast and actually is doing a lot of damage. He's gonna win that 1v1, and he does win that 1v1.
Yeah, something I think so we did not expect is Claude to actually dominate the lane against the Harris. Look at that, Celebi
Celebi
going
is in a
in.
very good position, and Vecna has to burn that Purify. Ooh, Breeze actually manages to get that RNG in his favor. Takes down Celebi down bottom, and a lot of engagement and a lot of fights going on down bottom.
Yeah,
And
killing
yep,
spree for Breeze. In the top
Prime
lane,
does
the
fall
Hylos
to Breeze.
did fall.
Meanwhile, I think on the top lane, Amocha and Joy QT managed to kill Ken TZ.
Yeah.
This is a game of absolute, like, just action-packed game on all sides of the map. I'm losing track.
Yeah, very action-packed, and we could see another fight as well in the mid lane. Vecna in a compromising situation, needs to be careful. Does have his D2 to get out of it, but it seems like there will be an engagement instead in the bottom lane. Kenzie pretty deep in the middle of three people actually might be going down. The ultimate used as well, and Beast securing the kill on Kenzie, but Hayabusa there using his ultimate as well. But the dance
Breeze
not
is in
enough.
a very difficult situation.
Breeze might be going down, barely managing to survive, does go down without a kill secured, and yeah, it is Beast who does secure that kill, also taking the bottom lane turret this time.
That's a 3-4-0 for TAINGO. So I think TAINGO are definitely in a very good situation right now, despite their gold lane actually losing. And Vecna actually managed to get a solo kill on, I think it was a 2v1 on Amocha.
Yes, Celebi looking
However,
for
he
that
has
kill.
gotten kind of camped by, he has gotten caught off by the diversion play from the Luai.
This could be another kill for the side of Team TAINGO, but look at that damage on the Claude using the D2 to get out of it. Vecna does go down eventually to Celebi, and it could be actually a turnover as well. Kenny going in, trying to get the Beast, but sadly not. It seems like Joy QT does go down eventually to that damage coming in from the Sicilian, and it might be Celebi who's going down as well. Barely managed to survive. Mocha in grave danger. Hayabusa there present using his ultimate. The armor now popped, but it seems like there isn't going to be any kill. But going in still stronger. Kenny might be playing it very risky. Does go down eventually. Mocha does secure the kill.
This is a long extended fight.
Yeah, and it may be another kill as Black does go down. And the immortality popped for Mocha eventually, but I think so that is the only good outcome they get out of this match.
We're very even on gold at this point. TAINGO seems to have like a 300 gold lead. However, the Claude is really ahead of the Harith. So Vecna is going to be a problem as this game goes on.
Breeze is having a difficult time, I think so. He hasn't been able to secure kills as soon as they kind of cluster up, they group together. It seems like Hayabusa's usability just falls off instantly.
Yeah, and that's the risk with the Hayabusa, right? Because especially with the Matilda, who can provide that shield, who can provide that dash, who can provide that healing with the Flask of the Oasis. And looks like we have another engage coming in. That's a nasty, nasty diversion play coming in from Celebi.
This time, barely managing to survive is Ken TZ, but I think so. It is going to be now the tier 2 turret being contested.
Yeah, he doesn't have the glorious pathway anymore, so I don't think it's a very good idea to just stick around. But he's going in. And Big Black Tank actually ults the Hylos. And they're in a pretty good position, but the last Insanity is popped. However, glorious pathway once again. Vecna goes in on 5 people out the back line. Beast as well as Celebi is down. Vecna gets Prime. And the is continuing. I think Breeze isn't okay. That was a flicker play by the gentleman, and he managed to actually get the Xborg, the jungle, Omocha. So,
Uh, a bit of sabotage, self-sabotage coming from Joy QT to all of Amota's escape, who does eventually go down in that team fight. Unfortunate is what I'm going to say. I don't know what they were thinking. Was that a bit of friendly banter? I have
oh,
no
once
clue on
again,
that.
they're coming in. Four-man diversion play. And the Glorious Father is down.
Oh,
The gentleman with the damage. Jesus. And KenTZ is actually going in. And that's what I mean by the Hylos just handling the Grok very well.
yeah, it might be gentleman going down. Needs to be careful. Actually, the Barag armor now popping. Amocha
Yeah.
going down. Double kill for the gentleman.
The gentleman with this the Sicilian first pick is actually pulling up in the late game. And they've actually managed to wipe Tiango. And they have 4 people with the Angela just ready to ult someone. So this might be a difficult defense for Tiango. Celebi goes down. Beast goes down. Vecna hitting the base of the back.
Oh,
And yep, that is game.
that is GG's. I think so. With that, Team Neon Genesis win this first round of the best of three between these two teams, Neon Genesis and Tiango. With that, we will be back soon. Do stay tuned, or we will come on in an instant where the teams do get ready. Welcome back, guys, to Prime Championship India. This is the match between TAINGO SINGJMEI JIO. I don't know. I'm sorry if I butchered the name versus Neon Genesis. And yeah, it is Neon Genesis who have the first victory between these two giants in this tournament. Uh, it is TSJ in the backfoot, and they need to make a comeback, even with that amazing play coming in. Very aggressive, both sides. They do lose it out due to one team fight. But let's see how things are in this matchup. Now, with me, co-caster Z has joined. What do you think? Do you think TSJ can make a comeback?
I think from the last game, they definitely can. They had a very nice draft. They had a very nice idea. The execution was lacking in a few places, but I do think that they can. And this time with that Mathilda ban, I think they actually do have an idea of what they're going for.
I think so too. It had been pretty level. I feel it was a bit aggressive coming in from TSJ, but things did not turn on their direction, especially with that plot on their side. The push was instant, and things ended without even them respawning into the server completely. So let's see what they learn from that mistake.
Yes. I mean, the Claude winning that early game was actually disastrous for TAINGO because normally the Harits should be winning that lane, right? Until the late game when the Claude can actually go into the backline. But the Claude actually won that lane. So that made it very difficult for TAINGO to actually play that game because Vector on the Claude was absolutely massive.
Yeah, the team fights as well, dishing out a lot of damage. Did help the team win it out. I did not expect Claude to come online so fast. But yeah, that is how things go. If you can dominate the gold lane, you can come online pretty early. And with bans on, what do you think is happening?
Okay, I think with the bans, they've actually just decided just to get rid of that annoying frontline presence that Neon Genesis could actually potentially pick. And with this first pick, the Khalid, who can actually go into the roam or the EXP, they are getting a very tanky, very annoying frontliner of their own, who can actually disrupt the Neon Genesis game plan.
Ooh, and we see an Angela and Alice. I have seen the Alice being banned out a lot, and so I'm excited to see how this hero is played because it seems like a lot of teams fear this. Do you have any clue why Alice is so feared in this patch?
So Alice is one number flex. So one is just the flex potential that Alice brings. But with the recent patch, she can actually deal a lot of damage. She can sustain a lot of damage as well. And she's just overall very strong right now. And I think we're seeing Neon Genesis pick this Alice in the jungle. Especially like with an Angela supporting that Alice, it's just going to be very difficult to deal with, I think.
Yeah, and the chip on the other side as well, one of the most banned heroes, another high ban hero. I think so. The chip does bring in a lot of mobility for the team, does bring in an aspect of mobility on the tank solo also, helping the team out rotate faster. So I think so that is why the chip is being banned usually. But this time we get to see Prime PD using that chip, and that is going to be fun to watch as Celebi also locks into the Lunox. What do you think about the mages who actually are good in the gold lane? Do you think you prefer that over the conventional marksman?
I do think that it's much more situational. The mages in the gold lane. So the Lunox in this case is good because you have the Alice in the opponent, right? If you pick a marksman, it might be very difficult to handle that Alice diving. So in this case, the Lunox has the brilliance to escape and also has the dark form of her ultimate to actually dish out percentage damage. So she should be able to actually handle that Alice, as well as the Arlott, picked up by Ken Teasy, who generally goes a bit more tanky. So I do like the Lunox in this case. I would have liked to see a Lua E, because that Lua E and chip combo is absolutely disastrous. But there's still some picks left, so let's see if Tiango actually go for that pick.
Which could be interesting to watch as we are waiting for the final bans coming in, as we see Roger being banned out, and also a Hayabusa this time. It seems like Hyper is being banned out a lot. So which Hyper do you think both teams should pick or do have a space for?
I mean, Fanny is still open, so I don't know if Tiango are actually comfortable with Fanny. Like, looking at how Beast played the Hayabusa last game, he might be okay on the Fanny, but I don't know if he wants to pick it up in this elimination game. But if he can, the Fanny could be a very good pick here.
Yeah, I think so. Fanny is still open. It's going to be actually. I think so. They still have Angela, so they could go for a tank also. I think so. That is still possible. I think so. They're waiting for that as well. Do you think a tank again, if a Fanny is picked, could be a good choice for Team Neon?
Yes, I think so. I think like Team Neon Genesis have definitely thought about the Fanny potential. So if you look at their picks, Alice is a tanky hero, Arlott is a tanky hero, Angela is a support, and the Aurora with her passive actually has 2 lives. So this is a very good pick onto the Fanny, and we do see a Fanny picked up by a Mocha right now. I'm assuming it's going to go to Beast.
Who is thinking to lock into the Moskov, it seems. Yep, it is the Moskov who comes in. I think so. Celebi is going to go in the mid lane. And we see an Arcus as well. Who does actually Fanny go for?
Interesting. Fanny has no one right now. And I think this is an Argus in the gold lane, which is an even more interesting pick. Okay, I'm very excited for this game, actually, at this point.
Yeah, I think so. This is going to be fun to watch. I think so. The pick that Neon has picked is pretty interesting. That is one I don't think so anyone could have predicted tonight. What do you think about the pick coming from TSG as well?
So, Tiango actually has a more meta draft, right? It's much more understandable from a meta standpoint, but it seems like Neon Genesis have drafted every single lane and every single hero just counter the Tiango lineup, even though it's not meta, because you don't normally see an Argus being picked, for instance, right? But I think Neon Genesis definitely have a chance to just clean sweep this series based on their picks. I actually prefer Neon Genesis this time.
Yeah, interesting picks. This is what I personally like to see. Some weird picks. I wouldn't say it is completely outlandish, but it's pretty nice to see refreshing picks coming in from a team this up into the tournament.
Exactly. I agree completely, wholeheartedly, and looks like Prime is actually annoying Breeze on this red buff take. And the Mocha is actually... Oh, it's a Mocha in the jungle this game.
Look at him going in very deep. Could get a kill as well. This is where she could get a kill. But a flicker from Breeze. Actually, sorry. Teleport coming from Breeze. But
I will pick up both kills. And that is the problem with the chip. The early game that the chip brings with the teleport as well as just the global map presence is actually very annoying to deal with, and we're seeing that in action right now.
Early pick-offs that could change the tide. This is how snowballs actually start, is what I feel. Omocha needs to be careful. They are going in very deep. Look at that. Alice in a bit of danger. Vecna now there, but not able to do anything at all as Breeze does go down. The kill secured by Celebi. 3 kills on board already for Team CSJ.
Yep. And I guess this is something that is very normal because with a Fanny, you have that early game priority. With a Chip, with a Khalid, you just have that early game priority. And Breeze is, again, getting invaded by 3 people. And yep, that's another pick-off onto Breeze by Celebi, Prime, and Joy QT.
Yeah, this is not working out for them currently. And it seems like Omocha does get a Toto as well. Surprisingly, he hasn't had the blue buff. He is going in for the blue buff now. Jumping in actually with that teleport coming in from Chip. Omocha getting a kill on Black Crank. And it could be another kill on the Gentleman as well. Barely managing to survive with that passive. But the red buff is now going to be taken away from them. Do you think there could be a late game comeback?
Breeze finally makes level 4 at 3 minutes and 10 seconds into the game. So this is not a good sign.
I think so. Vecna is the only one actually online for the team.
Exactly. But however, it's still an Argus, right? The Argus can only do so much in the early game. The Argus is also a late game hero.
Oh, look at that. It could be a kill. The ultimate still available and used, but needs to be careful. That is the last. Yep, does back down. Not enough damage on Vecna already. 7 kills on board for Team TSJ as they are yet to open a book. Neon. Another kill on Vecna again. This is looking good. Also with no energy this time, but I think so we'll get the kill finally. Yep. Ooh, the final slash there. But does get one.
Worse for Neon Genesis. And we do get a kill back on the Moskov, so Beast does go down. And so does Judy. Chuck manages to get that kill. This is a very fast-paced game.
Oh, Breeze getting slaughtered all over the map. Look at that. Another death is KDA is 0-4-0 currently.
And this is the problem with the Alice in the jungle, right? Compared to being a gold lane, you don't have any early game insurance when you have the Alice in the jungle because Alice is a later as well. Especially opening up a hero like Fanny and taking Alice in the jungle might indicate a little bit of a oversight.
And yep, Breeze getting slaughtered again.
That's a good one. And I don't think Vecna has the damage to actually kill Prime. But they managed to do it.
Coming in clutch to help secure that kill. I think they could come online slowly, but they need to stop feeding is what I believe. Have a lot of farm for his team. The corner almost with the Moskov.
Yeah, but it's the EXP department. So Vecna is only just, I think, Vecna has a little bit less EXP than Prime, the roamer for TAINGO, which is crazy to think about.
There could be a clean swipe, and we see early into this game as we take your 136 minutes. And Gentleman in the top over and teleport used again the freeze there, the passive shift, but does go down eventually. Argus now in danger, going down as well. Much kill on Vecna, and it could be a tier 2 going down again. Big black there, but it's like they don't have at all. Joy QT now under the tower, final flash as well. And but Beast in the turtle in the other lane, and Joy QT actually going out of that with more than she started with.
And that's the quick sand god that he has. Once he saw that Kentizi had actually dumped all his things, flickered outside the turret, popped it. And that's what's going on. However, that's gonna be nothing.
I think so we could get finally. I think so that will be the one. In 7 minutes as they take the tier 2 turrets as well in the bottom lane. They are to. It is Prime PD. And look at that. Finally able to man fight against Joy QT.
And Joy Cutie is actually going a tank build, this it seems, with only a Fury Hammer picked up. So he's going to be a very big problem front line, especially with Prime on this chip to back it up.
I think Gentle is coming online, but slaughtered instantly. Celebi getting another kill on Joy Cutie. Killing Kitty again, getting massacred all over the map, falling one after the other. Networks for the side of Neon, who seem to be actually suffering, is what I think so is more accurate in this match.
Exactly. However, I would like to point out that we saw something very similar last game. I mean, it wasn't this oppressive, but Genesis is struggling in the early game a little bit, except for Vecna, who was doing pretty good. And this game is similar.
For the freezes are what is causing most of the damage for them, so the problems for them. Look at that. Again, he breathes now. That's not careful. Yep, does go down. Prime BD does go down as a collapse, but it is still Neon who are in back.
Ooh, Vecna gets baited by Celebi on this route, on this, sorry.
Yeah, the tier 2's down. Tier third left for the side of Neon. Struggling to come online, and so what they can do is they need a in team fights, but that is where they have the fan. When they kill, the fan is the
Exactly. I think the field until the last pick was a very big oversight from the side of Neonsis.
Is not good for Neon Genesis as they are building a massive lead. Look at going in aggressive. Rekna now needs to be careful. Does the ultimate pathetic. So he does a lot of damage, almost going down. Look at that. He's going in deep back. Did you see that Joy is going to fall down?
Exactly. The Khalid and the quick sand guard, right? It's a huge skill. And all the CC spent by Neon Genesis, he could just add them and just heal up all of the remaining damage. And I mean, Mocha goes in. As long as Mocha shut down, I think they should be fine.
Yeah, I think so. They have successfully sent this good round. If they overplay, look at that. They are going again. There is, I think, another coming as it is Kenty who gets his friend caught up as well as Frank goes down. Could be GG's. Look at that. They go down, barely trying to survive. Back on point. And Vecna now in grave danger. Does use the ultimate, but that was Edward.
And that is should pull the game back. And now we're at 1-1 series.
Oh, that was what you call a total wipeout. The side of the ESG Neon. They pull a sneaky one. And with that, we move into the third match in this best of three between Team THA and Team Neon Genesis. With that, we'll be back in a second while the teams get ready. Stay tuned.
Muted, sir.
मेरो के भएको थियो र माइक ठिकै थियो मेरो माइक
उयो हुँदैछ उयो हुँदैछ अलिअलि त्यो बिचमा क्या त्यो ब्रेक भएको टाइपको सुन्दैछ
हो मैले नै किकको पनि ब्रेक भएको सुनिरहेको थिएँ कि
त्यस्तै हुँदैछ हुन्छ
अनि ला के इन्टरनेट के भयो हटस्पट युज गरिरहेको हो मैले चाहिँ त्यही भएर नि होला हुन अनि त्यही मेरो पनि डबल सुनिदो रहेछ कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ
कहाँ गयो नि बिबिसी फेरि
म पनि निस्केँ सब गर्न ला हो कि ए लुनक्स ए एन्जेला मात्र खेल्दो रहेछ ब्रोले
म्युट भएको छ कि छैन हेर त एकपल्ट
म्युट त मैले यहाँबाट त म्युटै गरिदिइरहेको छु
भएको छैन We are totally live.
sorry हैन हुन्छ कहिले कहिले त्यस्तो
Anyway guys, that is how we speak in the background. We do have a post-game analysis. I know you guys are hearing us. We are still live. I did check the live as well. So
अब त भयो होला guys it's not muted राखेको नि
voice video delay भनेर आएको रहेछ
It's 11:22 currently. I know it's late, but everyone is up to watch this incredible match between TAINGO SINJMEI JIO versus Team Neon Genesis. Yeah, both teams have secured one match each. Team Neon Genesis taking the first match, Team TAINGO SINJMEI JIO pulling in a sneaky one with a total dominance in the second match as they push this to a third round. For tonight, your caster Jake Hazard, and with me is Z.
Hi everyone, and Gig. I want to hear you say Tiangmo's full name once again.
Okay. Tiang. Okay. Now I can't even pronounce the first name. Tiango Singjimei Jio.
TAINGO. So Taingo Singjmei Jio. Taingo.
Singjmei Jio. Okay, Singjmei Jio. Okay.
I like your idea of just pronouncing them as TSJ.
Yeah, that is what you call trying to make the best out of the situation.
And okay, so this game, Neon Genesis actually managed to ban out the chip in the first phase. And they are sticking with the Suyu ban, whereas on the other side, TSJ are actually going with the Hylos and the Phobius ban, which is the same thing they banned last game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And guys, if you are new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. You can find us on other platforms as well, such as Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Discord server as well for you guys to join up. So for future notifications and more MLB content, you can find us on those platforms as well. With that, let's get back into the draft as the final bands are coming in. The first three bands are coming in. And we see a pretty band coming from both the sides.
Yes, and the Ruby ban. So, interestingly, Neon Genesis are not opting to ban that Fanny. So, do they maybe want to pick it up? There is no jungle ban this time around for both teams so far.
Yeah, it seems like that seems kind of a taunt, I believe. A bit of try it again, but we will see how things move on. So what do you think for the first?
The Matilda is banned.
And we see Breeze on that Ling as the first pick.
That's an interesting pick, but that does leave the Fanny open for TSJ, similar to last game. So I don't think they'll pick it right now, but they might pick it in the third pick before the banning phase once again.
Oh my god.
And, okay. The Angela got stolen this time by TSJ. And Joy Cutie going back on the Khalid. So it should be interesting to see what Big Black Crank will pick this game. Because I don't think we've seen them on anything other than the Angela. But this series at least.
This is fun for me. Let's see what they go for. It seems like they are going for a good tort. Nope, shuffling through a lot, and they do go for the Egypt this time. The gentleman on the mage, does go for the Valentina this time.
Okay, so this is a much more straightforward draft this time around. So we're not seeing any out of left field picks like in the last couple of games. And yep, TSJ actually rounds off their first phase of picks with the Alice, which might be going in the gold lane.
No, it could be the gold laner this time. It does have the vengeance to take and soak up the damage. So let's see how this time Celebi can perform or not.
Let me proposition something to you, right? Tell me what you think. Alice mid lane.
To be honest, it was how Alice was meant to play in the early, before it was revamped, so to say. We did see a lot of that, especially with the mobility. During that time, I think so, it was one of the heroes with the highest mobility when it came to mages, but things have changed up a lot. So I don't think the mobility is the factor. I think the lifesteal is the bigger factor, the sustainability for this mage. So that could actually work out as well if she does get her items early. She does get a bit tankier and does dish out more damage as well. So that could work out, but we might need to see it for us to actually believe in that.
And Vecna actually going for that carry to just counteract the tanky build that TSJ are bringing to the table. And Big Black Crank actually finishes off the draft with Tigreal, which I like very much against this comp. Just the CC, chain CC, to disrupt the Khalid, to disrupt the Alice, to disrupt the Roger.
Yeah, it could be fun to watch.
Interesting. So the TSJ draft is very interesting, actually, because they don't have a jungle pick yet. So Mocha could actually go for a jungle pick, and it could be a roam. Okay, so it looks like a jungle Alice once again, or a jungle Roger.
Yeah, jungle Roger it is.
Yep, jungle Roger it is. And Beast seems to be headed to the gold lane with the Alice, whereas Celebi is going mid lane, and Prime is sticking with the roam. So this is the mid lane Angela. Very, very interesting draft from both teams this time. Much more straightforward, much more meta, but let's see how they actually execute these.
Yeah, so we are going to see the Alice with a flicker going to the mid lane, I believe, which is something we did want to see, but with a vengeance, but with a flicker, it does feel for...
would be going the gold lane, right? Because the Angela would be mid.
Yeah, I think so. That is what is going to happen.
And I actually like the Alice in the gold lane against the carry as well, because the escapability and the mobility that we talked about for the Alice, it's really going to help her survive against the carry, especially in the gold lane.
I think it seems to be contrasting your idea of the Alice. I think so. The burst damage that the carry does against high HP heroes is going to be an issue for Alice, especially with the slow as well. I think so Alice is going to have a difficult time.
Yes, but she has a much larger range to clear the waves, right? She can just spam her skill 1 and get that poke like she got on Vecna just then.
And that was close. Was it not?
Like Frank, escaping with 1 HP, but escaping nonetheless.
And being in your kill, but they're coming in from gentlemen to survive that jump coming in. It could be one of the matches again.
Yep. This is in trouble, and he gets that on time.
To the Ling, it does really kill. That is what they're doing.
Actually,
now already in the
this is so TJ struck stage with a very old buff. The game last game was go them.
In against the event. So TG can score everything that be a positive side currently in their match.
Yep, condition would be pick off the carrot, pick off that first with Roger thing, and then and we got a kill down bottom. And he actually manages to kill Joy Cutie. And the fight going on top lane. He is bring time. And we also damage already confirmed this time he does have that point out of that point out. I think more so there not be anything to this side just this game, but after last game and Joy Q actually gets picked off. Get kill under well.
The end is down in this round. Another round in the team fight. That round in something is what I'm going to both team playing very
it's actually good. And Mosha is here to and be able to actually clean it up with that. And now, by pretty able to this goal, and they believe that in Genesis have actually managed.
Yeah,
it has been online.
And I think so. They are more aggressive, and it is in the river. That's all. Again, he of them and I think help the boat. And could be down. My body went on the daddy.
These kids flat, but and the Dash comes down. Yeah, the Alice proving to be very difficult to deal with, especially with Angela. So Celebi and the other are being managed to tank out this early game to come from the cat, despite it being a catch.
Who else would take the popular one? Is on the fight.
Yep, and I think what Cutie already has Thunderbell and the Roda has also top Thunderbell, so Amucha is going to be more difficult kill before the beat and that's great.
Yeah, teams making very good usage of the doors and instantly to secure more kills. So that's going to be a waste time for her. Like in trouble, don't forget top not trying to get rid of that red community and team D one bet on the
This is all play.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, and we're gonna see him showing a picture of the game. How it playing this round, and it's very chaotic. Man, a triple kill, shut down the lane, and is he gonna catch? I don't so. Oh, not. And she gives up the Savage, and that's Savage for the.
And I think he on the of nature coming, and he got at least a little, not shy a little to getting chances from the Roger and the blue now contested that coming in, but no follow through from the team.
That's a fight on that side. The mode down Breeze. But Prime PD manages to catch his that. I would read the help of the Angela ult by Gentleman. And he is actually like with the bomb now. Actually managing to select on carry put the fights. And then after that we know Dallas.
Yeah, is this blood and moving on that flowing blood, right? So that has been massive in the fight, shooting any stopping their disengage and getting completely off guard in the of their opponent as we have to be shining.
So and be in the state also be huge watch to utilize him because he really has really the apps so much longer fight damage and increase allowing the ready spot.
Like this, you have the composition, the initial as damage coming in from home to clear things. And the Tyrant's rage can he side and consider the
and damage.
But look at that, the shot down. But sadly now people bust go down alert is running and he's like this one after him and drive. That's ill.
It's a wonderful but actually with and just a managed to kill on the
perfect match. Securing still on Omoja.
Yeah, the lot actually a ad so that will be very nice.
Ooh, that can be well actually real and left out mage and done and we went again.
The joke chain and even Big Tango could not help now. But he then was brigade on Black Rank. I have to say Big Black Crawler has absolutely messed up.
Yeah, it was my word for that using 3 and to follow. It seems like that actually now that's not it's online is the game.
That definitely showed that he's of anyone easily makes the plays, get it down, even in one situation. She gave up Savage, but managed to get Mocha. What's the damage on Mocha? One basic attack was stripped.
Oh my god, this pressure.
It's general back is actually infinite on here and we saw him pick at Argo and see how he's playing the game. That's very comfortable with the lane position.
Yeah, we think as a very good misses are more and look at that might Breed was going down be careful ultimately into line.
Win out in and that team match closure and this moment not a trade. Unfortunately, then that will 0-4 and this is no to end right here.
That's a real fun to be and thank God and safe it's Z.
Yeah, and despite FCA and despite a much effort and Savage back, they were able to actually wrap the game up. And Joy Goody, who was such a huge as a lead last game, he really showed the potential that he showed. Last game, I think that resulted in them actually just down beyond Genesis in the quarterfinals.
Oh yeah, that's to watch with we wrap up the quarterfinal. And that was the wrap up group B. We had a group yesterday. That was very fun and this was Academy Z and these the team fighting but team T will come back strong in the next tournament as Neon is the semi-finals. Okay, it's a wrap to have MC to our viewers.
Thank you very much. Prime Championship, Fusion Prime Championship was quarterfinals and we'll be back with more scintillating actions in the finals.
Guys, tomorrow with that is your curiosity. Take half the time out. Hope to see you guys soon.
नेपाली किन नि पहिला
मेरो डिसहरू रिटेक भइसक्यो त्यो
बेसी काट्यो भने
अड्केको क्या अलि बिचमा टाइप गरेँ
त्यो नि स्ट्याको डिपै भयो फर्स्ट गार भयो म सुपर
दुइटै मेरो खास पनि त्यो आइप्याडमा भिडियो भएको छैन
त्यस्तो चालको हुँदैन ल्याग हुन्छ कि हुँदैछ किन्दो रहेछ ल्याग तिमी आइटमा पर्दै थियौ भोका दिन्छ अन्त
बेस्ट अफ यसको युट्युब खोलेको कि के ल्याग गरेर हेर्नुको लागि
हेलो
हो हेलो त्यो उयो
एउटा बिताको तिमीले कहिले लाग्यो भने कम्ती हुन्छ त्यहाँ उयो क्लिक गर्नुहुन्छ तिम्रो यो फङ्सन कि माथि होइन त्यो प्लानेट हो ज्यादा डिस बनाउँदैन होला कि एनिवे आजको लागि त
ओके सर
सर